Hope you're doing well. So, I just want to talk about a video on why you should take more risks in life. Because I know there's a lot of people out there are scared of taking risk. Like, it could be financially, it could be relationship wise, it could be health. And taking a risk, the definition of taking a risk in today's modern world, it's pretty much doing something outside the norm. Doing outside that's the traditional route. Like, for example, right? The norm is pretty much like going to uni, finish uni, get a 9 to 5 job, and work till you drop off, right? That's the kind of the traditional route, right? Now, taking a risk, the definition of taking a risk in today's modern terms is doing something that is outside the norm and doing something outside your comfort zone. That's literally what the definition of taking a risk. If you look at every successful person in general, right? Successful entrepreneur, successful content creator, YouTuber, right? They all take a risk. They all do something outside the norm. For example, right? It's kind of funny. I think earlier today I was watching that YouTube video from IShowSpeed, right? So IShowSpeed is pretty much one of the most successful, like, I don't know, live streamer YouTube, right? Anyways, like I don't know. Recently, I've been watching a bit of his content because I don't know. He's a bit of a funny cunt actually. He says some wild shit. Anyways, right? Like him or not, right? I was watching this video where he made a video about like what I see myself in 3 years or whatever. It was like a really like unfiltered webcam video, and it's kind of crazy how, as I was watching it, right, he would start talking about, like how I want, like to say where I would want to be in the next 3 years or where I want to get to. And it's kind of crazy how like someone like him is just a normal kid. He's just a normal guy. He's only 21 actually. He's only a normal guy where he basically is living the dream life. And the reason why he's living the dream life is because he took a risk. Yeah, there was a bit of luck involved, but he took a risk. He took a risk that what people are not willing to do, such as doing live streams on Twitch or YouTube. I don't know how you really built his success personally, but he built a risk. He took a risk from doing that. And what I kind of learned is that every successful person who has run a successful business or is like a YouTuber or an actor or even an athlete, or take risks in life because you have to. Because you have to take a risk. Like, if you want to live the life you want, you're gonna have to take some fucking risks, man. You just have to, man. Like, what's the point? Like, if you're not taking a risk in life, you're not gonna get anywhere in life. Like, even like every successful people will take a risk. Like, for example, someone like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Roger Federer, I don't know, LeBron James, PewDiePie, they all take a fucking risk. All of them have taken a risk. Because the only way you become successful and live the dream is taking a risk. For example, right? A year ago, I was at a networking event, right? And this networking event, it was a network event full of like content creators. So it was people in the food niche, in the photography niche, in the self-development niche. There was a bunch of content creators, right? And as I was listening to each content creator going on stage and present themselves how they got to where they are today, what I learned is that every content creator or every successful content creator or entrepreneur on that networking event all took a risk. That's what I learned. All of them have taken a fucking risk. And the reason why they take a fucking risk, because you have to. If you don't take a risk, nothing gets done. Like, for example, the person who invented the iPhone, Steve Jobs, right? He took a risk, bro. He took a fucking risk. For example, the person who invented, I don't know, the aeroplane, right? Like, I think it was like the Bryan brothers, the White Bryan brothers. I don't know what they are. I think they took a risk. And the only way you actually get to your goals quicker is you gotta take some risks, man. Like, it's no point just sitting around and doing the same thing. It's not gonna help you get anywhere. Because the only time you can really take a risk in life is by just going for it. Now, I'm not saying that you should blindly just take a risk out of nowhere. Obviously, be smart with it. Like, obviously, take some calculated risk. Like, for example, right? Don't just fucking, I don't know, buy a bunch of fucking lottery tickets and one day you're gonna win the lottery. No, that's fucking retarded, right? Obviously, actually do some research when you do take a risk, right? do some research, and then fucking go for it. Because I noticed a lot of successful people in general, they all fail so much that they took so many risks. They probably fail more than what you have. The only way you get to where you want to get to is you gotta fucking fail. You have to fail so much that in order to be where you want to get to, is you gotta fail so much that when you get that data, you can know where to direct it. Because a lot of risk takers in general are always trying new shit out. They're always trying a bunch of new things, such as they're always like meeting new people, networking, trying new projects, releasing products or creating things, putting things outside in the real world. Because the reason why you're probably not where you are today is because you don't take enough risk. That's literally it. Like, for example, my parents, right? For example, my ancestors, right? So my ancestors are Chinese, right? They came to Australia in the 1800s. This was during the gold rush because they took a risk. They took a risk to freaking get on the boat to come to Australia because they knew that Australia had potential. They took a risk because back then China was a shithole, right? Before it became really, now China's a fucking sick country now. It is. It's a fucking sick country if you go to China, bro. But like what I'm saying is like when they came to Australia, they knew there was potential, right? And they took a risk. If they didn't take the risk, I wouldn't be living in Australia right now. By the way, I am Australian, by the way, how I talk. So what I'm saying is that every generation, right, has taken a risk. Like your parents probably has taken a risk in some way, right? They took a risk to do something outside the norm, right? They pretty much have done something in order to get to where they want to get to. Like every successful person is a risk taker. Because if you're not a risk taker, you're not gonna make it. Like even me, for example, right? I took a risk in order to go after my dreams of becoming a travel photographer, videographer. And ever since I took that risk, I'm actually doing it full time now. I'm actually got clients now. I even got like a client shoot like the next few weeks with like one of the biggest freaking hotel chains in Australia. I'm about to pitch a 10K tourism board deal in the next few days. And the reason why I'm able to do it because I just go for it. I just don't give a fuck. I literally just trust my gut and just send it because it's kind of funny. It's thinking of taking risks, right? In the next few days, I'm going to pitch a tourism board in America, right? And I'm trying to pitch a 10K deal. Now, you're probably thinking, how the fuck did I got to that opportunity to pitch a 10K deal to a tourism board? Well, because I put myself out there. And by putting yourself out there, the more risks you take, right? Taking risks is pretty much on the lines of doing something outside the norm. Doing something that people don't have balls to fucking do. That's literally what taking a risk is. Most people don't take a risk because they're a fucking pussy. You're just a fucking pussy, bro. Just admit it. I'm a pussy. That's the reason why some people don't take a risk because they're a pussy. For example, right? I got a few people I know who haven't really made progress in life. Because the reason why is because they don't take enough risks. They get scared of to take a risk. They let fear control them instead of them controlling their own fear. Because that's what holds people back. Fear. But the risk takers, they see fear as a good thing. A lot of risk takers a lot of risk takers, right? When they get nervous, they see it as a sign like, fuck yeah, that's what I'm here for, bro. I'm here to overcome that fear, bro. That's why a lot of successful people are risk takers. Because they just go for it. So that's what I got to say. I want to say that if you want to live the life you want, just take some risks. Now, alright. That's what I got to say. I kind of rant off a bit because I feel like I repeat myself 1,000 times, but you get the whole point. So that's what I got to say. Alright, have a good one. See ya. Bye.